Hey everyone, Mr. Octopi here, bringing you a commentary of Demolition on Firing Range, though instead this will be my first commentary on a specific subject. Yes, thank the Lord, I'm not going to be rambling about random crap and then switching to the gameplay, making no sense and stuttering all the time. No, today I have a specific subject which I hope you guys will all enjoy and find some interest in. So, first let me just get off and explain this game. Right now I am playing Demolition, and this is recorded from last night. I was rolling with a full party from HopicGaming.com. Check it out, it's pretty awesome. And I was just rolling with them basically all night, mainly in Demolition, a few other games whenever we didn't have 6 people, or more than 6 people. And I'm sorry to say, but we were spawn trapping everybody, basically hours on end. We ran into a few organized teams, we beat all of them but one, which I guess changed a few things up, but most of the time it was just us shooting red boxes through just chopper gunners and gunships and killing people with our attack dogs and that kind of stuff, which is always fun. But again, this is not about the gameplay. Sorry, I've been a little rambling on. I won't talk about it after this. So, the subject on hand. This will be the current and future of video games. Now, I'm not sure, but I have no idea how much this has been brought up before. I probably don't know too much compared to other people, but I at least want to know enough, and I at least do know enough, and I want to cover my thoughts on this and what I want and what might be out there for the future. First, I'm going to cover the current generation, or the 7th generation. Of course, there have been other the 6 generations before, like the Nintendo 64, the Super Nintendo, all that kind of stuff, which I'm not even sure if you guys were around for. I was not around for anything, like, I forget which one, but it was the generation before the GameCube, I even forget now. But that's basically where I started off with. And it's not really about me, so after a series of events, unfortunate or not, we've gotten to this generation, which consists of Microsoft with the Xbox 360, I'm pretty sure that's their 2nd console, Sony with the PS3, obviously their 3rd console, and Nintendo with their Wii, pretty sure their 6th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's their 6th. Alright, let's start off with the Microsoft Xbox 360, successor to the Microsoft Xbox, only made 3 years before the Xbox 360. As I'm not sure how many, but a few of you may know, the Xbox was a complete flop and basically sucked. So, which is why they followed up with the Xbox 360 so quickly, which turned out to be a pretty good success, and I've got to say, I've enjoyed it, although the Red Ring of Death is a pain. Anyway, it was unveiled on MTV on May 12th, 2005, and released November 22nd, 2005. It came with, as you know, Xbox Live, stuff like Netflix, ESPN, all that kind of stuff, and currently $60 a year. At first, it was the Xbox 360 Pro, selling for $400, the Core, also known or converted to the Arcade, at $299, and the Elite at $480. On August 28th, 2009, the Pro was discontinuated, I don't know, and put to $249. The Elite was put down to $300. With the release of the Slim, which was about a year ago, the Elite and the Arcade were discontinued. Ah, there we go. Doesn't mean they just stopped making them, but they were still selling. They had excess of them. The Slim introduced a 250GB hard drive, integrated Wi-Fi, a new Valhalla motherboard, which introduced 30% more space, an XC GPU, 5 USB 2.0 ports, optical audio. Basically just a few things as the Elite, only a little more upgraded, and looked a little cool. Also, instead of 2 small fans, they had 1 big fan, and apparently it's more quieter and efficient, but I don't know if I believe that. It shipped June 14th, 2010 at $300. The Xbox 360 overall, all of them, sold 50 million plus as of January 6, 2011, and again, the ROD was a big problem. The hardware specs, it has 3 cores, a CPU at 3.2 GHz each, at 6 virtual cores, and 1 MB L2 cache. The GPU had 1 billion dot product ops per second and ran out 500 MHz 10 megabyte. The RAM is 512 megabytes at 700 MHz DDR3, performing up to 1 teraflop overall system floating point performance. Now, Sony with their PS3, I have mainly on the Xbox 360. The PS3 is a little different. PS3 had started off with the PlayStation Network and had to catch up with Live, but it's free, although still, I don't know, I don't use most of the stuff on live anyway. It was the first product to use Blu-ray 2.0 player, which is why it was so expensive. Released on November 17th, 2006, came with the basic 20GB hard drive and the premium with the 60GB hard drive. Basic at 500 and the other one at 600. September 2009, the slim model was released, had 1 HDMI, 1 Ethernet, and 4 USB. The one from the premium, well, after the premium, introduced a 40, 80, and 160GB hard drives. Then with the slim, it was 120, 250, and 320GB hard drives. PlayStation Plus was released, I think about half a year ago or a year ago. More benefits, but you did have to pay for it. Overall, 47.9 million units sold as of December 31st, 2010. CPU runs at 3.2 GHz and has 512 kilobytes L2 cache. The GPU runs at 550 megahertz and is custom made, performing up to 1.8 teraflops performance, and the RAM is 256 megabytes at 3.2 gigahertz and one more at 256 megabytes at 700 megahertz. Lastly, we have the Wii, released in November 19th, 2006 at $250. Introduced motion control for the home, like all the old people and just everybody at home, not competitive. Overall, 84.64 million units sold, and throughout, as many of you may know, they almost ran out, and it was like very highly in demand. In September 23rd, 2009, there was a price drop to $200. The CPU runs at 720 megahertz. The GPU is an ATI 243 megahertz, and there's 88 megabyte system memory up to 480p at the graphics end. As you can tell, the Wii does not have the system specs as the other two has, but that's not its purpose. Now that I have covered the actual form, well, not the form, but just everything in the 7th generation consoles, which we do have now, I would like to take the next few minutes explaining the 9th generation consoles. And, well, sorry, the 8th generation consoles, which are next, and the 9th generation consoles and on, which is basically just a few random stuff that I might like. The 8th generation consoles obviously do not have a lot known about them, if that is a complete sentence or even works. Basically, if you ever look it up on the internet, it's basically, well, this will come out 2014 and this will come out 2013 and all this crap. So basically, be expecting the new generation of the Microsoft and Sony, and even a new company maybe, I'm not sure, around 2013, maybe just kind of like shown up, or in an E3, probably about 2012. Hopefully we don't die, but just saying. So because of that, there's not a lot of information on the internet, so I don't have a lot for you guys. Sorry about that. Probably more or less, more with the Connect and just the Wii might get an upgrade and a few extra things, and probably a little more motion control, and something completely different that nobody knows about, just because Nintendo's the innovator like that. With the Xbox 360, the next one will probably be the Xbox 720 or something of the like, most likely integrating some kind of motion control, and again with the Connect. PS3, I have no idea. Probably the same thing as the Xbox, only something completely random will come around. As far as I know, there's a company out there that nobody knows about that will come out with the next extreme thing, and I don't know, all that good stuff. So, in terms of the future, like future 100, 200 years from now, I'm expecting these kind of things. Closer to the future, sorry about that, I'm thinking about cloud computing. I'm reading this directly off of Wikipedia. Cloud computing describes computation, software, data access, and storage services that do not require end-user knowledge of the physical location and configuration of the system that delivers the services. Basically what this means is, instead of having to have one console, one computer, one gaming handheld device, any of that stuff, instead, you still kind of need one of those, at least the interface to be able to use this. You take it from everybody else, everything around the world. It's basically like Xbox Live and the internet to the extreme. You take everything over there, and then you put it all together and use it for something else. That's basically how I can describe it. If you want to know more about it, Wikipedia at cloud computing. It's pretty interesting. Basically, you don't need to worry about like all the system specs and everything like that and improve everything like that directly. It would make everything more efficient and the like. Another thing, oh, by the way, that was introduced in the 1960s by who knows who, I have no idea. Currently, the few things that we're running, like, that are boundaries for everybody, is the lack of space. What that means, I have no idea, but basically what it translates to is, like, with the new consoles, whenever they add any, like, more memory or anything like that, or any more performance or all this kind of stuff, it's harder, it takes longer, and it's a lot more expensive to make games. So back in whenever like the 8-bit era and the 16-bit era and the I don't know negative 5-bit era, all those kind of eras, just way back when, a few decades ago, it was easy to make a game. Anybody with a Mac 2, or not really, but anybody with a Mac or a Microsoft computer could just go on their computer and basically make one if they had the knowledge to, and it didn't really cost them that much or take too much time or anything of the sort. But now, with all this like insane stuff, and you know, I don't even know what bit it is right now, 200 something, 500 something, I completely forget. But now with all this 1080p and sophisticated hardware and all of that, as stated by David Vonderhaar, it takes a lot longer and it's a lot more expensive to develop games. Also, with the gaming consoles, I'm not sure if you know this, but there's not a lot of RAM in them, so you can't really put the games to their max or like use a lot of kind of, I don't know, stuff or add any more things in terms of graphics, even though the GPU may be able to handle it. There's just not enough of random access memory. It can't process it fast enough. So that's just basically the problems which cloud computing could fix. One more thing before this video ends. Virtual reality probably is on everybody's mind. Virtual reality obviously is probably like putting on a helmet, a few sensors, maybe going into some kind of just room, sitting down on a chair, and then basically making your mind do all the work for you, as in you think of it and you do it, kind of like, yeah, you put on a helmet, few sensors, then you turn on your quote-unquote game console, and you just, it feels like real life. Like, you think it's real life and all that stuff, and let's say you're trying to pick up a gun, instead of pressing X, you reach down and pick it up. And you might actually feel some of the things, you can actually hear everything literally, you can see it, and basically that's how virtual reality works. The real problem with that is the fact that where are you going to put all that hard drive space and all that kind of stuff? In terms of all the amount of data that you would need to use to put everybody in this one kind of map kind of thing and be able to walk around it and be able to make it look like real life would be enormous. You could not have a specific console dedicated to that. It'd be the size of your house. So cloud computing, that's where it'd come into play. That's where you definitely want to have something like that. So basically, also that will lead up to maybe like real life virtual reality, but that's a completely different subject, and I might want to go into that in terms of biogenetics and virtual reality life and just all that good stuff. So that's basically it. The future of video games, the current video games, seems to be going well, though we do have a few problems, and I'm sure that'll be fixed in time. And that guy spawns behind me. Just wanted to finish up. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, this game is with Demolition. I forget my score. I'm pretty sure I go 101 to 10. Don't quote me on that. Either that or I go like 92 to 25. And don't yell at me for spawn trapping or anything like that. I don't know. Apparently a few other videos were being yelled at for that. And sorry if this offends you in any way, but it seems like, I don't know, all the other times I've always just been by myself and always losing and not getting, I've been getting okay KDs, but I mean, why not just chill out and just destroy some people, and if they want to stay, stay. If not, then I'm sorry, go find a different match. No offense to anybody, hope that didn't offend anybody. Sorry. So, this is raised my KD probably about 0.05 or something, and my win-loss by about 0.1. So, I would suggest, again, go to HuppetGaming.com and pick up a full party. I've gotten literally 80 people off of HuppetGaming.com, and it has helped me tremendously, and I love it. I do it now, like from now on, I always go with full parties and all that good stuff. So again, the game is wrapping up here. It's almost at the end while I'm in my amazing little chopper gunner. These videos will basically be going like this. Again, specific subjects for mainly Demolition games because I get a lot of these. I already have like 10 of them stored on my hard drive. Basically, just it takes a while. I can take as long as I want to talk about a subject, and if I don't talk like over 16 minutes, whatever, then I can just speed up the gameplay a little bit, and then I can fit it in there. But it looks like this one will be going to the end of it, and at the end we're basically just running around like idiots, killing people. And there's the end of the game. Don't worry, I still will talk about the gameplay and some random stuff later on, probably in my next video. Yeah, I'll explain what we do in Demolition and how you can do it later. Final score, I'm pretty sure that's 101 to 10 or 92 to 25. I can't see it on Sunny Vegas. Hope you enjoyed this commentary. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you could, please. That would be amazing. Helps me out tremendously. Thanks for 15 subscribers, guys. It isn't a lot, but I appreciate it. So, Mr. Octopi here. Have a good day. Signing out.